Hello, my name is Ren. I am a 17-year-old transgender boy from New England, but I'm not telling you which state because I'm shrouded in mystery. Anyway, I'm making this very long video to just get some of my thoughts down and share them with whoever might come by this. I also want to express my frustrations and personal experiences with being transgender, especially as a trans male, because trans men are not taken seriously or even really into account, like, ever. I know that posting such a video is welcoming in bigots with open arms, and they will disregard anything I say because of their close-minded nature, but I want to attempt to educate them, and anybody in any way I can. Firstly, I want to explain what it means to be transgender. I know that identifying as a boy doesn't change the fact that I am biologically female. I was born as a female. I have a young and feminine looking face, a feminine voice, a chest, a you know what down there, feminine posture, stance, mannerisms. Even as much as I try to present myself like males do, I can't help my biology and appearance. Especially since I am only socially transitioning currently, though. I do plan on getting testosterone when I can, and having surgeries. I just go by my middle name, Ren, instead of my first name, which is a typically feminine name, and have my hair in a typically masculine style. Which, by the way, it's just hair. Anybody can have any hairstyle of any length and it has nothing to do with their gender or what they were born as. It would be easy to assume I am just a girl with short hair, because I was born a girl. That is my sex. My sex is female. My gender is male. And this is possible and valid, because sex is something separate to gender. Gender is an identity, and sex is a fact, like race and ethnicity. People of genderqueer identities are oppressed because they are a minority, because most people's gender identities align with their sex. This is cisgender, but every bigot will claim that they aren't cisgender when that's literally just the term for people born as boys to identify as boys and people born as girls to identify as girls. Cisgender is seen as normal and acceptable because that is what most people are, and I'm definitely not the first one to point out how any minority will be oppressed. Anyway, because gender is a social construct, you are allowed to identify as whatever you want. Thus, I am a man, not a cisgender man, but a man nonetheless. I just am. I am not a teenage girl going through a phase, and even if I am, so what? Can't you respect that this is my identity at this part of my life? Detransitioning is okay, though. I don't personally see myself ever doing it, is all. This identity feels right for me. If identifying as the opposite gender to your assigned gender at birth brings you comfort, satisfaction, joy, euphoria, then you're transgender, or genderqueer in some way, even if it's just for a time. There are many reasons someone could experience gender dysphoria, a dissatisfaction with their gender identity being that of their sex. But for trans men, people might often assume that it's because of the misogyny women face. So people might assume that trans men are just women who want a life with less oppression, and thus don't take us seriously because they still see us as women. We are not women, and we don't choose to be transgender. Trust me, if feeling dysphoric was optional, I sure wouldn't feel it. If I could have been comfortable living as the girl I was born as, I would have, but I can't, because I'm not. I'm just not. Please stop assuming things about me, about us, about trans people. Ask, respectfully, and let us answer you. No more prejudice. We are people. Talk to us. Communicate. We can all learn about each other. Now, some people might identify as transgender, but it might appear to you that they aren't trying hard to pass. For example, a trans man could dress femininely. Clothes don't have genders. Anyone can wear whatever they want and it won't change their gender identity, but certain appearances will lead to assumptions. And this trans man with long hair, makeup, a visible chest, jewelry, a skirt, heels, he's still a man. If a cis man dressed in such a way, it wouldn't make him a woman. He just would look like a woman, but wouldn't be one. It's the same for this trans man. Also, a trans man might go by a feminine name, or go by their birth name. So what? Maybe they haven't chosen the name, or are simply fine with their name as it is. Plenty of girls have masculine names: Blake, Drew, Logan, Morgan. etc. So why can't a boy have a feminine name? Also, while I use he him pronouns, another trans man could use he they them, she her, or anything else. Pronouns do not define your gender. As with appearances, certain pronouns will lead to assumptions, but you can totally be referred to by she her and still identify as male. If people don't understand it, they don't have to, as long as they respect you. This is why I think he him lesbians are valid, because a woman can go by he him if those are the pronouns that feel right, and he would still be a girl, and a lesbian. However, I don't think transmasc lesbians are valid, because we are men, people of masculine identities, which are not a part of lesbianism. Anyway, if you present yourself femininely or androgynously, and get misgendered, you don't have to change the way you present yourself. Just correct the person who misgendered you. If they continue to disrespect your identity, well, what can you do? It's a display of their character more than anything, and they are below you. Now I want to talk about my personal experiences with dysphoria. I feel like I should not that I am a neurotypical individual, so I imagine it would be harder for neurodivergent people to experience these things. So if it sounds like I'm underselling the experiences and the severity of how down they make me feel, I'm just talking about me personally. So, firstly, I identify as eros as well as transgender, so I don't want to have a relationship with anybody romantic or sexual. I believe this to be a big benefit to me, because I can only see my dysphoria and paranoia about whether my peers truly accepting me being amplified in such intimate relationships. But even with friendships, I still feel paranoid. Being unable to know if they really see me as a boy makes me feel like I can never properly connect with anybody. I love and appreciate my friends, and they are my friends for a reason. I know they accept me. It's just hard to accept yourself, I guess, in a world where transgenderism is frowned upon. I'm a positive guy though, so the social part of it doesn't get me down too much. It's mostly the body dysphoria for me. I'm happy with my hairstyle, but that's it. I do color guard at school and I hate the way my body looks, but I stick with it because the activity brings me joy. I hate being paranoid about everything I do, literally everything. I always wonder if my actions, interests, hobbies, all of it, does it make me look feminine? Do I like things that girls like and boys don't? The music I listen to, the movies I like, the way I text, the way I put my pronouns in my bio, is the way I tense up when I hear my birth name that noticeable? Why do I care? Things are for everyone. It's society who put gendered labels on everything. I'm not living to have people tell me, you're acting masculine. I'm living for myself, as myself, and that's that. Anyway, I am a shy person naturally. I always have been, but how feminine my voice sounds is something that makes it worse. I don't sound like how I see myself. You know, this is a teenage girl's voice, not mine. So it makes me not want to talk that much, though. This could just be because I'm simply a quiet person. I am hygienic, but I try to be as fast as I can be in the shower because I don't like looking down there and not seeing what should be there, and looking down at my chest and seeing what should be flat. Even when I wear a binder, I can still feel them. And my height is a major point of dysphoria for me too, as I'm only 5 feet 2. I know short men exist, but I don't want to be a short king. Combined with everything else about me, it doesn't help me to pass. Not that I need to pass to be valid, I know I am, but it would help my personal gender euphoria. Speaking of which, a lot of affirmation I get about my gender tends to feel forced. I don't know if trans femmes feel the same way, but I rarely feel truly seen and supported as a trans boy. It always feels like people just see me as a girl who they refer to with masculine terms just so they don't have to deal with me correcting them. I wish I didn't feel that way. I know I have my whole life ahead of me to get the medical happenings done that I believe would make me happier, but knowing I was transgender since I was 9 years old has led to these experiences and feelings being things that will stick with me for the rest of my life, and have hindered the enjoyment of my teenage years. I wish my identity wasn't something I have to explain, as if it's a controversy I have to defend myself regarding. I just want to exist. I want Ren to exist, because that is who I am. While being transgender is full of struggles, it's also a wonderful thing to have realized my identity and have had the courage and confidence to accept myself as a man rather than the woman I was expected to become and live as. It's really great and freeing. I can be me, not as effortlessly as most of the world's population, but it's possible. And I'm trying. And I think that's all I have to say for right now. I wrote all this when I was tired. That tiredness is why I'm having a text-to-speech voice read what I wrote instead of me saying it out loud. But I hope this made some sense and meant something. There's definitely more I could say about being transgender. Gosh, I could talk about it forever and ever, but I'm going to end this here. I'm not much of a writer nor a wordy person, so I hope this was okay. Thank you if you listened, if anybody did, and if you did, and you have a question or anything, I'm more than happy to answer, as long as you're respectful. Goodbye.